Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the SU-8. It's the Tier 6 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Ruinberg, and this one is under the command of Yarbas of OLIMP. And he's blue! What have you been up to? Well, looks like Yarbas has been firing on his teammates. Because, yes, he's turned blue in the game. But that's where he's been getting too many accidental shots that hit his teammates during battle. Okay, well, got a number of enemy tanks out there, but he's also got a red line. I think it's because he's so close to that building, makes it difficult. Rounds out. Well, the shell fell between the T-3485 and the T-71. Has he got a shot? Well, he could probably hit that Poleaxe tank way over on the other side of the battlefield. And there's a KV-2 down there as well. Rounds out. Oh, that's a nice direct hit there. 165. Knocked the tracks off. And there's a Churchill 7 there now as well. So he's got a number of targets he can fire at. And that one's got the skin of a KV-2R, but it's actually just a standard KV-2. Nice hit on the turret. Right next door to the howitzer. The M10 howitzer. Okay, there's the Churchill. Lines it up and rounds out. Good shot. Right onto the tracks. Yes, he can keep pumping these shells out all day. The thing is, it's the fastest firing Arty at Tier 6 other than the FP304, but it does do 550 alpha and 38mm of pen, so although he might have difficulty trying to get a shot through the armor of a KV-2, he'll certainly keep pumping those rounds out until eventually he succumbs to the HE rounds. And another one! Okay, what have we got over here? It's right down the end of the road, and it looks like the enemy's going to come around because that AMX M445 couldn't hold it on his own. Rounds out. Well, that hit the enemy M445, but our guy goes down. And the enemy's starting to get some momentum here. They were 2 tanks up. They're 2 tanks up now. And we've got a T28 HTC with very low hit points coming along that road. And now he's got even less. Now you could just bump into him and he'll expire. Okay, well, behind him is an AMX M445, the one he hit earlier, and a Panther M10. And technically, a Panther M10 is perfidy. Yes. I don't know if you know what perfidy means or what it actually is, but it's when you dress up as the enemy with the intention of trying to fool the enemy into thinking that you're one of their soldiers. And you can be executed for that straight away on the battlefield because it's under the rules of war and the Geneva Convention. Perfidy is one of those exceptions where you can shoot the enemy without, well, not without a trial. Would have thought that you would try them, but you can shoot them. And that actually happened in the film Fury. Although most people aren't aware that that's actually happening, they wonder why the Brad Pitt character War Daddy actually is about to execute a German SS soldier. But what the German is wearing is what matters, you see, because he's actually wearing an American raincoat. One of those rubber raincoats that the Americans had to protect them from the bad weather. And that means he must have killed an American to get it. And he's wearing it to try and fool people into thinking that he's an American. A nice kill there. So you see, he actually was killing an enemy soldier who was pretending to be an American. And under the rules of war, that's not illegal. He actually was legitimately enabled to shoot the enemy under those circumstances. Okay, we've got an FP304 hiding behind our cap area. Oh, that must have been close. I mean, in the film as well, the characters actually indicated, oh, that lamppost went down, so the Arty has moved. They indicate that they don't like the SS particularly because they were the fanatics. They were the ones who were actually refusing to give up and keep fighting. A lovely shot there, direct hit on the Black Prince, and he's gone down. So there's 3 left on our team and 4 on the enemy team. We're the only RT on our team. The enemy have got that FV304. Now our guys are getting ready so that they can stop the enemy getting into our cap area. That T28 HTC is probably not going to want to meet us because he's got no health at all. It's only 12 hit points. He would go down very quickly. And you can see that Yarbas is trying to lob shells into the area where he thinks the Burt is. The KV-2 and the IKV-65 both went back to their cap area, presumably to protect it from our Basotto and also from our E25. They're probably worried that those guys are about to hop into the cap, and so they want to set up an ambush. But I do like what Yarbas is doing because he's actually positioning himself behind cover from his flank, so he doesn't want to get spotted. Now they'll probably see his tracer if he does fire, but it's better for him to actually be in cover just in case the enemy comes from that particular direction. Okay, so we are working on the basis that one of the enemy tanks is going to try and go into the cap. I would have reckoned the T28 HTC would be the one that tries to do it. I can't see him wanting to come up this way, not when he's only got 12 hit points left. If he does get spotted, then he's going to be wiped out. Even with a near miss, he'd get wiped out. And Yarbas has got plenty of ammunition already. Both players with him in this in his team are also have kills, so they are practice players. No sign of them yet. The Burt probably doesn't want to get any closer himself because he probably reckons that that Basotto must be fairly nearby. And the Basotto is in a position where he can react and pop out, have a quick look. Yarbas is telling his teammates to be patient. He doesn't want to fire himself because, of course, it would give away his particular position. They'd know which bush he was in. We've got plenty of time left before the end of the game. It's also interesting that KV-2, that Yarbas was the one who took away most of the hit points from that guy. He only got a little amount of hit points from the T28, but enough to actually annoy him because with only 12 hit points left, he hasn't got much of a game. And he's their best scorer. Now that's interesting. The Burt has actually gone back to his own cap area. He's not where we thought he was. He's not down in K2. He's actually gone back to near the cap, and he's actually lobbing shells where he thinks our guys might be. And he's got it completely wrong because we're covering this area. The E25 coming up. It's going to join us up here. Okay. He's the most forward of our teammates. The enemy do have the advantage. They do have the advantage because, of course, they've got one extra tank. He's just lobbing one in, but that does give the enemy a chance to work out which bush we might be in. The FV304 is probably too far away to actually fire on us directly. Those shells look to be right from the north. Now he's looking in overhead mode at the moment. The normal thing to do is to switch off all indications like this, press the V key, and then the tracer will stand out much, much brighter when he does fire. Obviously, remember the tracer will appear some distance from the barrel. So you just have to work it out exactly how far back you need to go. Well, neither side wants to give away a quick victory to the enemy. I would not be surprised if the T-28 is near our cap area, but he keeps getting spotted. Oh, not spotting. He keeps thinking twice about actually going into the cap area. If he was spotted, then obviously we'd see him on the minimap, but he's not coming up. He's sitting on that corner, and I don't think he's there. I think they know where the Basotto is. They don't know where the E25 is, and that's what worries them. Of course, the E25's got a very, very rapid fire 75mm main gun, and the KV-2 gets spotted. And I reckon that must be the Basotto who saw him. Only 122 hit points. And the Burt has moved. He has changed position. And it looks now like he's actually fairly close to the city centre on the west side of the map. He's not where he's indicated. Oh, the Basotto's gone! And the KV-2 is the one who killed him. And here comes the IKV. We were spotted. Lined up a shot. We take one hit. Oh, but the IKV goes down. And that was a penetrating shot for 447. So a nice accurate shot there by Yarbas. And that's changed the whole dynamics of the game now, because although there's only two of us left here on this side of the map, the enemy's now in a bit of a pickle because they just lost their the most healthy tank. And notice on the hit points, yep, they are very low. Now here comes the FV304. Can you get a shot? Not at the moment, getting a red line, but the E25 takes him out. And they are capping. But now it's just a matter of firing into the bushes one by one. They have to come out of the bushes, and they could get spotted by the E25 when they do. He's aiming at the cap center at the moment, but I would be going through the bushes one by one at this point. And they've stopped the cap. Maybe that's because the enemy can't get both guys to go into the cap at the same time, and he realized that there was no point capping on his own. And now we're into the last minute. Now, if he does get too close, he might get taken out. I think the E25 is not going to be worried about getting taken out. There must be a difference of opinion. There's the KV-2, the one who came out the cap. Oh, what a kill! We did get spotted, though. But I don't think the T-28's going to want to actually get involved now. He's too low on hit points. One shot and he's out the game. So I think they're going to settle for a draw. And that's it. Game over. It's a draw. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a third-class tanker for Yarbas of OLIMP in the SU-8. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. And he got a win ace of 3,331. But sadly, it was a draw. They couldn't find the T-28 in time. Well, there was no point. They wouldn't have been able to hunt him down. And we've no idea where he was. Maybe he was actually covering the North Cap, and he just didn't want to come down and join the KV-2 in the cap. And in the end, the KV-2 decided, well, if he wasn't going to cap with him, then the KV-2 would just try and find us and see if he could actually get a kill. But in actual fact, it turned out to be the other way around, because Yarbas is very accurate with the SU-8, as you saw with the IKV. And so the KV-2 became another victim. Let's have a look at the team score. Okay, we can see the highest damage in the game actually went to the Black Prince on the enemy team, 2,543 hit points. And the second highest scorer was the T-28 HTC on the enemy team with 2,267. So they were the best players from the enemy team. The best scorer on our team was Yarbas. He had 1,882 in third place. And when it came to kills, well, it was shared between Yarbas and the T-28 HTC. They both had 4 kills. Our E-25 also had 3 kills, and that put him in second place, you could say. And there's 2 players with 2 kills each, the Panther on our team and the Basotto. The Panther managed to pick up a Confederate, and on the enemy team, their IKV-65-2 and their SU-122-44. When it came to base XP, well, it's actually the Black Prince who came out on top here. 702 for him. 617 went to the T-28 HTC. And because he got a Spartan medal, he would have picked up some courageous resistance to actually beef up his score. And in third place, we can see it's actually Yarbas with 598. The Panther on our team getting a Confederate means he would have picked up some courageous resistance as well. The bonus for getting a medal in a losing or drawn game. Yarbas fired 18 rounds in the game, so a nice healthy amount. 9 direct hits, 2 penetrations, and 13 splash. Damage of 1,882, of which 1,313 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was a 90mm round from the IKV-65-2. It did splash, actually. I think he fired an HE round instead of the AP, and so yes, he did get a hit, and it did take away a few hit points. But I think that's a questionable choice. You know, using a 90mm HE on the SU-8. It is an open Arty, but it's also fairly strong enough. I would have used the AP round, actually, more certain to get the pen, even though the HE, well, if you placed it on the actual gun, that might help. But as I recall, it's actually a fairly, it would have been better with the AP, I think. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 671 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. He earned a profit of 20,000 credits, and he got 897 XP out of it as well. So reasonably good, but apparently in this game, the SU-8 was accused of using a namebot. Yes, one of the players actually said he was going to report Yarbas, and said, Yarbas said, go ahead. I think he doesn't realize how good Yarbas is. So obviously he thought something's up here. How could he get those accurate shots? It must have been either the IKV or the KV-2. I haven't got the notes here to say who it actually was, but I wouldn't embarrass them on the video to say, look, you've accused Yarbas of using an aimbot. No, he's that good. He is that accurate. And the fact that he did it to the KV-2 after doing it to the IKV shows how accurate he is. So there you go. So yes, that was a false accusation. He doesn't use aimbots. He doesn't need to. He's very good. Okay, so we've got a second replay coming up. Let's have a look at that one. The next battle is on Sand River, which is one of my favorite maps, and we're on the Eastbourne. Game on. Yes, I like these wide open maps where there's not many obstructions to your fire. I think the obstructions, they tend to get in the way, and I've often thought that it would be a good idea for wargaming to introduce destructible buildings. So if you do have buildings getting in the way, you can blast them and knock them down. And I've wondered if they ever could get around with that. Well, they do have destructible buildings in the game, but I guess it would just be too much for wargaming to map in as many destructible buildings as we would like. But it would make it interesting, especially if you could make the rubble collapse on a vehicle that was next to one. So if you could trap enemy vehicles and immobilize them by firing on the building and get the building to collapse next to them or onto them, that would be quite good fun. It'd also be a lot of fun. I just saw the tracer from the enemy Arty. It'd also be very fun. Oh, he just tracked himself. Dial in. Oh, he's used his repair kit to get away. So he's got no repair kit at the moment. Rounds out. Looks good. Very good. 134 from Splash. Yes, I've often thought that they ought to have incendiary shells as well, so you can set fire to buildings and burn them down. Because, of course, they did have incendiary shells, or rather, they used Willy Pete, which was phosphorus, white phosphorus. And, of course, that was very naughty to use as anti-personnel, because it would definitely kill the crews, but in the most horrible way. And, yes, we do see that in Fury as well. And it actually was, or is, a war crime to do that, but to use Willy Pete for anti-personnel purposes. But it was very, very effective. Rounds out. I was also, regarding talking about Fury, I was looking at a chart the other day showing what would actually happen if 4 Shermans or 4 M4s were to attack a Tiger. Oh, lovely splash kill. Got the ELC. And it was quite interesting, the results actually. It showed that it would have been suicide for the M4s with the 75mm gun, and that was 3 of them, to actually attack the Tiger. So it would have been better if those guys just laid down smoke. And for the M476 to get close, but he would have had to have got very close for his gun to be able to penetrate the front of the Tiger at, I think it's something like 500 meters or so. It was very, very close. It needs to be super close to get through. But if they'd actually had a Firefly in their team, the Firefly could have taken on the Tiger from the tree line that they were actually on, shown in the film. So they would have seen the Tiger firing from way, way down in that dip, and the Firefly would have been able to take him out from there. Good shot there onto the Iron Arnie. Because most people didn't realise the 17-pounder gun was so good that it could actually fire at the same effective range as the 88, actually, even though it was a very similar caliber. Very close, if I remember correctly. The thing is, oh, a good kill, another one. The Iron Arnie bites the dust. He was getting a little close. So it does show as well why it was a good idea to have the Firefly inside, or some of the 76mm armed Shermans or M4s in your platoon, just in case you came across a Tiger. Of course, as I saw the other day on another video about the M4, Oh, we got spotted, so we're going to have to move. The enemy Arty is an FP304, so he's not going to be able to get us at short range. Our guy's basically blocking him. Yeah, we're looking at the other end of the map, and the FP304 has been spotted. Can we get a shot? Okay, lob the shell in. That's it. Looks good. Oh, it's very good, and he goes down to our teammate. So the AMX M445 gets the kill. We get the hit points. It may have been the 12-ton that actually saw us. Okay, trying to get the Hellcat as he moves across the gap. Line it up. That's it. Rounds out. Perfect shot. That's 3. Yes, I was watching another video about the M4, and funnily enough, it pointed out that when they did actually go about towards the end of the war, they did go around in very large troops. It wasn't 1 or 2 M4s at a time. They normally went round in groups of 7 or 17 at a time. So the enemy didn't really stand much of a chance. And our poor SU-130PM, well, he's been given a chance now to take this guy down, but I think he is going to expire. Oh, he does. Now, is he going to try and kill us? Because if he does, we'll lob the shell over that ridgeline into him. Here he comes. Take him now. Yes, beautiful shot. Exactly what an Arty should do. How dare you get close to me? And that's the game. That was a fun game. Yes, it was also an ace tanker game for Yarbas of OLIMP in the SU-8. So that guy accusing him of aimbotting, no, he doesn't need to. He's that good. He also got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 4 exactly. Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10. And his win rate from this one, 3,719. So to the guy who thinks that he's cheating, no, he's persistent and he's very good. He gets very high win rates as well. So let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see here the highest damage in the game actually went to the Lanson C on our team with 3,434. He actually picked up a high caliber for that one. Second highest damage, the SU-130PM. We couldn't save him towards the end of that game. It was a pity, but he was the Scorpion was well above our alpha. And so the only thing we could do is put in a round to try and reduce his alpha, give the SU-130PM a chance, but he got wiped out before he could do that. And the third highest damage in the game went to the LT-432 on our team with 1,944. And we were just behind him, or Yarbas was just behind him with 1,930 in 4th place. So when it came to kills, Yarbas got that one, 4 kills to him. 3 kills went to that Scorpion, and what a lovely kill right at the end. Shotgun right into his belly at close range. And 2 kills went to the LT-432, the AMX M445, the T-3485, the Porlac tank on our team, and only 1 player on the enemy team managed to get just 2 kills, and that was the Comet. And when it came to base XP, Yarbas has got that one too. 1,083 went to him, 986 went to the Lanson C, and 926 went to the AMX M445. And the reason he got more XP than the Lanson C, even though the Lanson C got much more damage, is because the Lanson C was tier 8 and he was in a tier 8 game. So he was just getting the standard XP, whereas every tank that Yarbas hit that was higher than tier 6, yes, he was getting a 10% or 20% extra. And that really made a big difference when it came to the end of battle results. He fired 14 rounds, got 5 direct hits, no penetrations, but 14 splash, damage of 1,930, of which 1,648 were at more than 300 meters. The last shell of the game was at very close range, right into the belly of a Scorpion. It is a Panther tank by any other name, but it still was able to withstand a penetrating shot at that range. Well, it should have been a penetrating shot because, of course, it would have gone into the belly armor, but Wargaming don't actually give the readings for the belly armor on most of these tanks. They'll give you the front, they'll give you the rear and the sides and the top. Well, no, they don't actually give you the top armor. I think that's the one thing they don't give you is the deck armor on the engine deck, the top armor on the turret, and the bottom armor, the hull armor on the belly, which of course are important if you have mines, but or if you have anti-tank guided weapons, which are going to hit the thing from above. But of course, sadly, they're not in the game yet. I say that, but I suppose you could say that Arty rounds are the closest thing you're ever going to get to a round coming in from above and hitting the top armor. 1,340 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. Oh, well, I forgot to mention actually. I did mention that, the 8 and 4. He got a profit of 37,934 credits from the game, and he got 1,624 experience points as well. So 2 decent games. Pity that the first one turned out to be a draw in the end, but I think they did the right thing. If they'd actually tried to take the enemy cap away from them, I'm pretty sure the enemy would have actually been able to ambush them and take them out. I'm fairly certain that the Burt went up there and the IKV, and that's why the IKV came from that direction, that they were actually waiting for them in ambush. And so if they tried to take the cap, it wouldn't have worked. So getting a draw is acceptable under the circumstances. They prevented the enemy from taking their cap, and it worked out. And then on this one, that was a really good battle, and that was fun as well. Although he did get spotted by that AMX 12 ton. So I'm wondering, if this battle had actually had, instead of having a Burt on the enemy team, they'd had an M44 or an SU-8, then I think Yarbas would have had a bit of competition, a few shells coming in his direction. But I know that the enemy wanted to kill him because that Scorpion was making a determined rush to try and take him at the end of the game. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm and he likes to go nom nom. And thank you for watching.